Alrighty. A little bit of a later start today, but oh, let's do a live chat. There we go. And let's get that up here. Okay, good to go. I posted a poll on Instagram with a picture I took of Coconut last night, asking whether it was a trap or if it was safe to pet the warm kitty belly. And so far, everybody thinks it's safe. And, well, knowing Coconut, it's very rarely a trap with her. You can usually tell if she's got that irritated, like, tail flip. But by and large, it's not a trap. But, okay, so I've got, you know, I really hate to say this, but I had my big lofty goal of doing a brand new comic. Well, this is a brand new comic technically, but doing an extra comic for this Friday and having this comic as being next week's one comic. But I'm really considering giving myself a break and just finishing this for tomorrow's post and just letting it ride for the next week. And of course, I'll schedule up regular comics and posts and stuff, but I think it would be wisest to give myself a break, but it's not as easy as it sounds. In fact, it is not as easy as it sounds at all. Because I've got that little voice was like, oh, you're slacking, you suck. But I'm dying. You still suck. I need a break. No, you suck. Yeah, that little voice. That wonderful little voice. But, so as far as my task list goes, actually I want to show, let me show, first we say, then we show. Yes, my mic is on. All right, so we're not as out of it as we thought. So this morning I was working on, it looks like a mess, but I've got these 8.5 by 11 acrylic little stands. They have a little piece of wood at the bottom and you just slot the acrylic kind of window, and the window takes a piece of paper. So it's like a nice upscale looking table tent sign type deal. And so I have 3 of those that are 8.5 by 11 and I have 3 that are 5 by 7. And so this right here is me going through and mapping out my prints for that. So the first one, I'm actually going to do 2 of these that are the booth pricing ones. I'm going to have one on the table, and then I think I'm going to have one probably on the upright of the shelving that's to the left of the booth that has all the books and stuff. And so I'm going to have 2 of these. So that's 2 of the 3. And the third one, I wanted to, and I haven't come up with what I'm going to do here yet, but I wanted to put some sort of an answer. Well, so my thought process is, when you walk into a store, like, like in the mall or whatever. My example I was thinking about, because I went to the mall the other day, you walk by Bath and Body Works and there's no question what they are and what they sell. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And the signs on the pricing and the deals are everywhere. And, same thing if you walk by Athleta, that, you look at that store, athletic wear, okay. And, you walk by Sephora, makeup, perfume, all that good stuff. And it. As soon as you walk in, there's no question. And, the most common thing that happens at my booth is people are intrigued by the bright colors, the characters. They walk in and they ask, what is this? So I want to attempt to answer that. Like when they see it, they can get a little bit more of an answer without, having to come in and ask that question. Not that I hate that they ask that question. I want people to be intrigued and come in and be like, why haven't I seen this before? Or, what is this? I want to know more. I definitely want to do that, but I want to make the understanding of it a little bit easier, and I want to give them kind of like my elevator pitch on this, like one sentence to describe what the business is and what you do and why you do it. That's a lot to cram into one sentence, but the idea, and I've heard of this like from a bunch of different places, but the kind of example they give is what would happen if you walked into an elevator and Steve Jobs was there and he asked what you did. You basically have an audience with this huge business personality, and you have an opening to tell them about your dream, what you do. And so that's kind of what this is. So I have to figure that out. And coming up with a single sentence sounds easy, but it really is not. It is so not easy to come up with that elevator pitch. In script writing, I think they call it a log line. And famously, the log line for the Titanic was Romeo and Juliet on this boat. And that's what James Cameron pitched to his producers. He got a picture, he had a book or something, or maybe it was the National Geographic magazine article, because I believe he was in the 84 or 87 discovery of the wreck. But that's how, at least I've heard, that's the story of how he pitched it. This boat, Romeo and Juliet. And that's one sentence. You get everything in it and you see it. And so that's what I'm looking for here, what I'm trying for here. And then I'm going to print out on I have some really good, actually right here. It's under my painting supplies. I have some really good 16-point cardstock. And so what I'm going to do is print out little labels for my different sections. So I've got that here. I've got stickers, books, comics, enamel pins, sticker sheets, prints, accessories, plushies. I'm not gonna do, I'm rethinking it. Maybe I will add an originals sign, but I wanted to hit the main categories. So I'm gonna have like a whole section of sticker sheets, so that's gonna be covered. I'm gonna have enamel pins, that's gonna be covered. Accessories is going to cover lanyards, pencil cases, the mini purses, and then of course I've got books, and then plushies, totes, plush keychains, apparel. I forgot about apparel. God goodness. Okay. All right, so obviously I need to make another one. I have the little naked floof behind the leaf. You could be advertising the apparel. I was doing all caps, wasn't I? All right, so I wanted to have all of these booth signs not be branded, but kind of have a little bit of a character thing, just to show little pieces of these characters and their personalities just everywhere that's possible. So, hey Catherine, welcome to the stream. And yes, it is. I'll be leaving on Sunday. making the grand trek out. And so these are the last few days of prep and freak out time. So I did that. I had a freak out session yesterday, and I was making my prints, and I did get them done. I got a lot of them done, and I've got a stack about like this of 4x6 mini prints, and it's over here, but and that was another thing. I kind of had a freak out session, and I started examining all the different parts of the booth, and am I displaying this right? Can I do this better? Is this clear? And one of the things that I came back to was the display of my prints. And I think that I have not been handling that as well. That's why I broke out the sticker sheets into their own display. I also am breaking out the prints into their own displays. Back rather, since I did have that in years past. I had prints and art books kind of on this massive upright. So I'm breaking that out into displays that can showcase things better. And I also want to have the labels. But yeah, I was looking at the prints and just trying to figure out how, asking myself, is this the best way? And if not, how can I improve it? Or, is there... It's really easy for me to get stuck in habits. And, whenever I redo the booth, it's kind of an exercise in tearing down all of those old habits and examining them and saying, okay, is this a good practice? Is this successful? And if it's not, how can we change it to make it successful? So I'm just kind of looking and trying to not keep any sacred cows. How that goes. Venzo. Hello, welcome to the stream. I assume I'm just going to call you Ven, because that's all I see. I see something that could be a Z and an O, but still think it'd be cool if you came to the Comic-Con in my city. I'd love to meet you too, Catherine. That's another thing. I was watching all of the Anime Expo booth report YouTubes that have been published. For some reason, they all came crashing down into my YouTube feed. So of course I'm consuming. I'm like, oh God. And it's very interesting to see the perspectives from different parts of a convention, because Artist Alley, in my experience, was a very different beast than the exhibitor hall. But I really feel like a lot of the branding and marketing, and it's just kind of, they've grown closer together, because all of the displays are much more professional, neatly organized, well thought out than they were 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, which is the Artist Alleys that I'm familiar with. And it's just interesting to see all of that, and interesting too to hear people interviewed and see what their top sellers are. And just there's a range all over the place. And it was no surprise to me that blind boxes of Enzo, but many peeps call me Ven, so okay. Oh, okay, I see it now. All right. I saw the kanji up front, and I read it as a kanji, and I'm like, oh God, I don't remember what that one is. So, is it a kanji, or is it I don't know what it is. It looks like a kanji to me. But at any rate, so yeah, it was interesting to see that. And apparently I knew blind boxes were popular. I put in some artwork to hopefully be doing a pin blind box with Box Lunch or some other vendors, but I haven't gotten any artwork back for approval on that, or any mock-ups or anything. But I don't know why I use this style for the text by message change. Oh yeah, I hear you. That has struck me too. All right, we're gonna enter. I need to get off of this. Well, still. I think popcorn floof could be on accessories. And strawberry floofs could be lifting plushies. I need to make this guy bigger, but I need to fit 4 on a... I don't need to fit 4 on a sheet, but I kind of want to. I'll do a test print. What was I thinking? I need to save this, and then I need to move back over to my comic, which is right here. There we go. So yeah, I've been going on that fun roller coaster ride. As far as things I absolutely have to get done, still outstanding, I really don't have a lot. I've got, I want to get for priority number 1 is getting all of the keychains backed and bagged, because they're kind of a pain. And it's not that they come from the manufacturer in like these little bubble pouches, but that's not, you know, kind of really, it's not nice looking. It's not professionally, you know, product, you know, packaging and stuff like that. So I don't really want to hand somebody a bubble wrapped keychain. So I'm redoing them in these little cards that have the thing at the top, and I'm doing a little adhesive dot so the thing doesn't, you know, go roll around in there. I want to get those done and get as many of my pins backed and carded as I can, because that, in years past, that's always been an issue. I've always run up against the time, run out of time, and I'm at the booth pinning and backing, and unfortunately not able to pay attention, at least in the first couple of hours. Usually it's a little bit slow, but I'm in a different spot, so I'm not back against the wall. I'm not kind of hidden back there anymore. I'm on a main aisle now, and I don't think I'll be able, or at least I hope it would be a wonderful problem to have if the booth is so busy that I have no time to pin anything. Just wondering, you guys draw manga? Well, sort of manga, I guess. Well, I take some influences from manga, definitely. I take other influences, strongly influenced from Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield and Peanuts. You can see the Calvin and Hobbes influence in a lot of my nature illustrations and, you know, settings, backgrounds and stuff. But definitely am influenced by manga as well. One of the first ones I read was Ranma 1/2 in high school? Was it high school? Yeah, it was high school. But I remember very clearly looking at it and getting the first volume, and I was reading it and I was laughing so much. It was a whole, you know, couple of hours in the afternoon I read it, and I couldn't stop laughing. I immediately went and I bought the next couple of volumes. I still have those. But that kind of started my journey. And this needs to be crunched a little bit more, I think. So this little group is very excited to see his panel. Oh, he needs to have a lanyard on. I'm gonna have this one be like, what's your deal? I'm just an itsy bitsy artist. What do you like to draw, Ben? I get a lot of influence from manga and anime, old school Disney too. Yes, same. I've got the series, let me see. I think it's the Disney editions, like the archive series. I have a layout and background. There's design, there's character. There's several series of those. I've got that one on Disney. I also have a really good one called Setting the Scene from Chronicle Books. That one's out of print. I actually got that one at did I get both of these at Comic-Con? I got that one at Comic-Con one year, and I always love going around and scouting the art book selection and publisher booths. And this year it's going to be doubly dangerous because I am now right next to that area of the hall, and so I am now in my danger zone. Of this little guy. Little guy. Do some indications back here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll group this, and I'm going to make this a different line art color. I'm just going to do some ears and maybe some bumps of a head or two. Make a shorter floof here. I mostly draw humanoids. I don't know why, but the anatomy is very interesting to me. I've tried merging some environment studies and it turned out better. Oh, nice! Yeah, you know, I went through a phase where I was, not really a phase, it's just kind of a step along the journey of an artist, but I was avoidant of doing anything in the background, especially avoidant of trees and really a lot of settings, and really just kind of focused on the characters. And I was like, okay, that won't do. I need to fix this. So I dove into environments and backgrounds and focused on the things that I always avoided, and now it's some of my most favorite things to draw, like trees and environments and backgrounds, and I get lost in drawing those now. But yeah, it's good stuff. Dee, hello, welcome to the stream. Hey Wander, I hope you're doing well too. What a week it's been so far, I know, right? Catherine says, no animation for me. I don't have the patience. Yes. That, it definitely takes patience. And, but man, seeing the, what am I drawing? I think that's a cat or something. Let's give him some whiskers. He's gonna be, you need to be probably smaller too, because you're way behind this food. Let's draw a dog. Just a hint of a shape here. So those are going to be at a lighter line art, and I'm going to have, since this is trying to be like a panel where you're all crushed together, like that. So that one I'm going to call done, except for you. I need to, there you go. So now we're going to go on to the floof that's running late. Thank you so much, Wander. My first environment took me more than 5 hours and I end up blurring. Oh no. But you know the work you put in. That is what made the blur look so good. Right? It's like what I tend to do is I'll draw the entirety of a scene only to erase most of it because my characters will be in front of it, or I'll decide, okay, I don't need all of this. So yeah, it's not even something that you'll see. Drank from the wrong side of my drink. Alright, so this Floof is running against the clock. Put his little whiskers out maybe a little bit. He's kind of... that little footer out there, and he's running. I'm like, I'm gonna be late. And I need a little shadow under here because he's off the ground. Actually, I'll draw that in a minute. Get this. This clock. Resilience, destroying your own creation with your hands. Creative transformation, yeah. I guess resilience could work because, you know, you're fighting against the urge to keep it in there even if it doesn't serve the illustration because of all the work you put into it. This one, the badge is gonna be kind of floating behind him because he's running. I just want to have his tongue out. He's gonna be running. He's gonna go. So let's see. Let's draw his shadow on the ground because he's kind of lifted off the ground because he's running. Let's smooth it. Let's do some. Give him some little grassy bits flying out behind him. Nope. Nope. More the merrier. You're welcome. Yes, indeed. Shared your stream and it just worked. Oh, thank you so much, Wander. I appreciate that. These cats be looking like flour sacks. They are, yes. Actually, that's how I think about that. That's what I think about when when I'm trying to put them into positions that I don't usually draw. I'm thinking of the weight in a flour sack and how it would flop or move if it had legs. And actually, I got that idea from watching the behind the scenes from the original animated Aladdin. Because if you look at the magic carpet, they said that's how they modeled the magic carpet's movement after, kind of like a flour sack flopping over or twisting and moving. And I just thought that was such a neat idea to use that inanimate object that has a very hefty weight to describe the movement of this thing. And so yeah, that kind of stuck with me. Wonder, what do you guys normally do when you hit the wall, like run out of ideas? That's a really good question. I do a couple of different things. If I just need a short break, I'll get up and maybe go for a walk. But if I really feel stuck, another thing I do is I clean my room, I clean my office, I kind of reset my space, because things, books, papers, all of that can pile up and you can kind of start to go blind to it. And, you know, addressing those piles, getting them put away can really freshen up the energy and kind of unblock me. Another thing I do when I feel just kind of like I've tapped all of the resources in my creative reservoir is I'll go back to some of my favorite animated movies, and just kind of revisit those things, or books, favorite art books, or stories, really even photography, anything that I have an interest in, because I draw inspiration from a lot of different places. And so I'll go back to some of those things. I'll maybe watch some old favorite movies, and that will rejuvenate me. And or maybe I'll watch something new, like I remember after watching Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I just thought I was so excited and impressed with the art direction, the colors, everything, the design in that movie, that I immediately went and I bought the art book. And I did that with Klaus too. And it was such an inspiration for me to watch that movie and just kind of take in the cinematography and the scene direction, the composition of everything, as well as the story, because the story was really, really good. And but things like that are ones that really give me a nice boost when I'm feeling the stagnation and lack of creativity. Either look at other artists' work, or just take a break. Yep. Been on a break the past 6 months. I haven't gotten to the wall yet. Nice. Well, Wander, you can kind of catalog some of these, earmark the ideas, because I mean, if it never happens, that is a blessing, but I think it probably does happen to everybody sometime. But yeah, as long as you keep on, adding, get into a habit of adding ideas to the well, not ideas, but inspiration. I think, give yourself a good break, because you can, especially if you're, running on time crunches or stuff like that, it can deplete you pretty quickly. All right, so this guy's running late. We got that one done. These guys are meeting each other. I'm like, hello, I love you. I haven't seen you in forever. And did I hit save? Of course not. No, we did. I second that. I go for a walk instead of forcing myself to draw. Yes. Like, yes. Yeah, just kind of do a different kind of an input. Or rather, stop your outputs, just change your inputs. And games too, I forgot about that. I love gaming. Like if typically after a convention, I kind of go into a recovery mode, and I'll start playing a lot of Stardew or Path of Exile or something like that, where I'll just kind of immerse myself in a game that has some sort of a reward system that I can, get that little bit of a boost, but something I can focus on that's not really taking creative juices. It's just, Arigato, arigato. I normally do the same too, but I've been kind of stuck for 2 days now. Oh, no. Well, 2 days isn't, you know, that bad. There are some people that get stuck in that rut for weeks and months. You just got to keep at it. Keep looking for inspiration and feeding your brain. Maybe go back to fundamental Yes. Yes. Back to the fundamentals. That is excellent advice. Let's group. Here we go. Get your... This Floof is a little bit big. I don't want to make him small. Let's make you smaller because I got a big Floof in the back and I kind of want you to be with your arms out. Their hearts to kind of look like they're just kind of exploding out and floating down like confetti. Hold on a second here. There we go. It's totally normal, just relax. Forcing it might not work for you. Try something different or something. Yeah, definitely. It's 6 months. Poor Ben. There we go. You could try something like a different... But maybe, because I was going to suggest maybe photography or focusing on something like that, but something that's still in the creative realm, but is utilizing maybe a different set of skills, something that you could kind of feed into, I don't know, because I like photography. I love watching. One of the things I do is I watch kind of not travel vlogs, but exploration type channels that have a little bit of history, because I don't know, you never know where inspiration will strike. Your channel is growing. Yes! I'm so grateful to have your company in chat. This Floof to be like a little bit more excited, but a little vacant too, because he's just so excited. Maybe I just need to angle him a little bit. Maybe I just need to stop messing with the shape of his head. Yeah, I'm gonna figure that. I need to get the gesture of this right though. His ears slip back a bit. No. There we go. A little bit too vacant. Alright, I'm gonna move this face over here. I need to get you The gesture of this guy down. Give you a little more booty. There we go, a little extra booty. And then let's kind of tip you up here because you're going to be like, oh, it's going to be balancing on one footer. If you guys have active YouTube channels too, still creating though you take days and not making anything, creatives tend to be hard. Yes, very much so. We're our own worst critics. Nothing specific studies, set up anomalies, psychological issues type stuff I've been doodling here and there. Started an artwork but didn't complete it. All the motivation for YouTube. It's a lot of work. Because I drawed something I can't cover it. Almost 100 subs. Yes! Ah, that's something too. Notifications kind of taking your attention. You can get exhausted. Sometimes, you know, what will help me is, because usually I have music running, but sometimes I just I don't have anything, and the focus, when that works, my focus is insane. So maybe changing your music you're listening to, finding something new that just kind of invigorates you that way. That could be another thing. When you find a song that makes you want to dance, you kind of feel like you can conquer the world. At least I do. I need to move your eyes over because you're going to be looking at this guy and you're going to be like, oh my god, my best friend, my friend. Hold on. Just moving his eyes around to see what looks right. Got the big Floof back here. Big Floof hugs. This Floof is not big enough. It's gotta be big. Now his paws up. Feet's up. Feet's up, hug it out. Move your eyes down because you're looking at your friends. Oops. Come on, pick it up. There we go. I may make him more chill because we've got this guy right here. He's like, let's change this. Let's make this guy a little bit more chill. Bring his arm down a little bit. It's like bringing in the warm group hug. I should probably draw the rest of this guy so I can know where he's standing. There we go. That's better. And I can reposition you now. Okay, let's just draw the rest of this guy and I'll group him and that will solve some problems. Okay, Oops. Oh, whatever. I'll redraw it. So now you've got your smile. A little bit big. Let's bring you up like this. There we go. We're doing a nice bear hug. Just a good hug. And now I'm gonna group these guys too. Because I need to. Let's get you grouped. I'm gonna change the sizing of these guys. I think that would look nice. Alright. Let's bring Big Hug back here. He's the anchor in this situation. Let's come over here. And let's make you a little bit smaller so everybody gets seen. We've got... Oh, I need some ground because they're all floating in midair. We need fluffy grass. We need to get nice fluffy grass. Just do something like that, and just a little something there. And since they're layered in groups, I'll be able to put coloring inside their groups and then just stack them. So if I need to move anybody around, I can do that later. Save. All right. She said YouTube is a lot of work, and I'm a student. I have to attend uni, and I can't manage active, engaging content with that. Oh, that's nice. Good plans. I hope your plans come to fruition. Studies come first. Yes, definitely. Inner peace. Yes. Inner peace is important. Keep working towards Dragon Warrior mode. Yes. This is not your final form. If hard work was the key to be chosen by fate, Thailand would have been the Kaiju no 8? No, I have not. Strong opinion about it. It's not bad. It's interesting. The cliffhangers of season 1 made it unique and different from the generic anime of its types. Ooh, nice. So, God, what was the last anime I watched? What was the last anime I watched? It's been a while. I used to consume just everything I could get my hands on. I remember watching Attack on Titan and getting irritated that we could never make it to Aaron's basement. And I think finally I read an update and they actually made it to his basement. I got irritated with that one. Let me see, what else have I watched? A couple of years ago, I watched Little Witch Academia. Is it Little Witch Academia? It was the one that was crowdsourced. It was so cute. I love that one. Let me see. It only had a few episodes. Let's see. And I believe it was on Netflix. What else have I watched recently? I'm tempted by Demon Slayer because Demon Slayers? It's the one on Netflix. I keep on seeing stuff about that one, that it's so good. And then I'm like, well, do I want to start another series? Because what I typically do is I have something running on my screen up here while I'm working on the tablet. So usually it's something I don't really need to pay attention to, like a movie I've seen a million times, or like a documentary that is just mostly spoken, because, you know, like they repeat the same images and pictures and evidence or whatever, true crime stuff, like ad nauseum over 30 minutes. But come on, I wanted to keep that one. Oops, I need to group. Oops, yeah, I definitely need to group because I'm on the wrong layer. You gotta try it. I will get to it. I will try it. I'll need something to recover after San Diego, so that may be what I choose. That was another thing I noticed when I was watching the AX kind of recap thoughts videos. They were naming all of these anime that I had no clue what they were. And I just like, wow. It's like, oh dear. Move you over here. Let's give her, is my point size? Yeah, it's a little on the big side. Let's bring that down a little bit. I need to make the face a little smaller. This is not lining up right. She's not like hunched over a table. She needs to have proper posture. No shrimping, Momocheat. That wrong. I want to keep that. She's over here. His paw because she's right-handed. She's not a southpaw. Coconut's the southpaw. You always draw an AI? Yeah, mostly, I would say about 95-ish% of the time I do traditional. Well, actually, okay, so maybe 90%. I've started using Procreate a lot more. It's a lot of fun. I use it when I'm traveling, and I use it when I just don't want to be at my desk anymore. That one's a lot of fun, and it's a different, I got to think about the drawing and how to build it up differently, so I feel like it's a nice mental exercise, a nice mental break from how I build things up in here. I also do traditional stuff, and I can actually show you, because I'm working on originals for San Diego. I haven't drawn one. I got a couple here. Ooh, okay. These are ones that I've just recently done. I use probably, yeah, I was gonna start erasing it because my camera. I used to use Copics a lot, but now I've recently, within the last couple of years, I got into India inks, and I really enjoy using those. This is one I did last night, and it's just the slow buildup. I ink it with regular, let's see, Kuretake Zig Mangaka pens. I use the medium and the fine tip, and then I use some of the other random pens I've got for inking, and then I usually choose the medium for color, either Copic or the inks, and color it that way. This is one of a assembled cast shot. I finished that one last night completely, and then I went ahead and inked this one, so I'll be working on this today. And I didn't get this one inked, but I got a rough sketch of this larger. You can probably not even see that, yeah. It's a floof floating in a leaf, and then a mama floof is capturing it. So that's, you know, what I do outside of Illustrator. I like the switch. I like the switch from being able to, you know, erase and of course undo all of that, to being forced to find creative ways to fix any mistakes that crop up, because, you know, ink is ink and you can only do so much to erase it if you make a big mistake. Otherwise you have to figure out how to make it work within an illustration, and I really like that. I think that's one of the biggest things I come away with from doing Inktober every year is I gain so much confidence when I'm using and focusing on that ink, because I have to consider my strokes and the lines I'm putting down a lot more carefully, and I've got to have more precision. I can't just, you know, go willy-nilly, and I come back from that much faster, and I think my line quality changes a little bit every year after that. Says no shrimping while shrimping. Yes. Do as I say, not as I do. So I started to draw where I can't make stories free from these boring laws and processes of this world. And I've been waiting to try Procreate, but I didn't have an iPad. Yeah, that's something too. So doing Inktober brought it closer. So it made my lines, like even when I'm sketching and just doing a book sketch, I liked being able to see that my lines there weren't really any different from what I did in digital. I just had that consistent strength and control over my lines and the shapes I would draw, that it would, you know, transfer over different mediums. But I really credit Inktober with a lot of that. Really trying to not shrimp. I'm not very successful at it. When I remember, I've seen some of those, it's almost like a harness people put on to keep their shoulders back. I've kind of considered that a couple of times, because I can, if I'm working for a long stretch of time, I'm just gonna be in the zone, not think about it, and then when I finally get up, I'm just like, oh God, what did I do? And everything is just cracking and popping like popcorn. Draw your little footer in here, even though I forgot to draw the end of the table. Let's just move it over. What I'm gonna do is just scooch. There's. We're gonna do a happy Momo tail. Yep. That anymore. I'll be here watching while working. Alright, Wander. That's not with me. I once tried making one myself, but it didn't turn out well. I don't want to, yeah, I'll just leave her paw like that. And we kind of need a little bit of the paper right there. That size a little bigger. Oh, I was really small. Let's bring that back up so I've got some more. There we go. Put a little one down here. Or maybe I could do like, why don't I do that? That would change the perspective a little bit. I could have their ears, like the back of their ears, like there's a line here. Let's do that. Ears, whiskies. Let's see. Let's do a dog. Let's do some floppy dog ears here. Something that's not a floof. Yeah, actually, let's see. Dog's ears from behind. Probably more like that. Let's group this fellow so I can properly. If his head was tilted a little bit, that ear might show and flop a little bit over his head, so. Alright. I need to put the autograph table somewhere. Thing is, when my point size gets too small, Illustrator likes to think it can shortcut, and I don't want it to do that. It's like these chewed up inner circles that just are not pleasant at all. Anybody else decide to be what's this here? This one decided it didn't want to actually. Oh, and that's kind of chewed up, isn't it? Let's make you smooth. There we go. Alright. And out we go. Alright, Ben. Alright. Autographs is done. And now we've got Shopper Floof, who has had a successful adventure in the exhibitor hall. And he's got all sorts of bags and goodies and a hat too. Let's draw the body. So I'm going to erase most of it because he's going to have bags kind of cluttered everywhere, but I want to make sure I've got go. And he's gonna get a little hat. I haven't decided if it's gonna be a cookie hat. Cookies would be cute, but I could also do like little slices of bread. That would be a random hat that a Floof would get. Alrighty, let's group this guy. So I need to draw a retail bag that's going to be behind, brushed up. And probably, let's see, I'm just going to draw the squares. I think the squares will probably be I don't need most of that one because this front bag is going to be there. Let's put this down a little bit. Maybe this one has some books in it, so we've got like little corner stress points from where books are pressing against the package. Oh, he needs ribbons. Oh, he needs all the ribbons. Okay. He needs ribbons on his badge, so I'm gonna like do all of these ribbons here. I'm gonna put ribbons over here. I want to put a friendship bracelet here. Maybe I'll put a friendship bracelet over here. So this bag I can erase because the one in front of it. And then I can erase this part of the body a little bit more. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this because that's behind this front bag. Alright, now I've got the back bag back here, and I can erase this. And let's put something inside of it. Let's do like more books. More books, yes. Of course. Something sticking out there. A friendship bracelet. Alright, so now let's get to the hat. I like the idea of it being bread. That could also be a cookie. Welcome back, Ben. Cookies and milk. Maybe just like this little Floof. Got everything. Everything on the list. Alright. Let me add a little detail on this bag. Maybe it's a cute little striped shopper. Alright. Last but not least, we have the cosplay Floof. And let's see. I was thinking originally maybe a flower. What have I had? I have done a couple of cosplay Floofs before. There's mostly as like food and objects. Coconut was, she was funny as a pumpkin. Did that whole Halloween one. Let's see. This one. Cut straight from Halloween to Christmas there. Sure, I had their cosplay things. Ah. Scary movies, Nomlins, yeah, that one was right. How many Floofs in this though? Would it have been? I know I did cosplay for Tuxie. Okay, that's summer. Oh wait, nope. Costume. That was Coconut. She did all of the costumes. Tuxie Cat cosplays. Those were all good. And the blue section in the back. Alright. I'll just pick something. Make him smaller. I won't have room for a Floof taking a picture. Floof's body is there. I kind of want him to be holding on to little leaves, little leaflets. Could have a little butterfly hat. We could have 2 little butterflies. Hey Sharon! Welcome to the stream! Hey Star! Welcome too! I hope you guys are having a good day today. I think I want that layered approach. Like maybe it's a dress of leaves over the headdress of the flower. Oh, Ven. Unforeseen network problems. Okay. Take care, Ven. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have the badge here. Do like a coconut picture. She definitely has a phone. Maybe Flower Floof will make friends with some butterfly cosplayers. That would be great. Or maybe real butterflies will be curious to come over. Oh, I should have grouped. That's okay. That's okay. We can make it happen if I'm careful and grab everything. Including your foot. Oops. Make this smaller. Little Floof. Background. Wow. Oops. Didn't mean to make his eyes so. Let's make these whiskeys a little smaller. There we go. Let's make that eye a little bit more sensical. Welcoming flower Floof. Alright. That's done there. Oh, the line art's done. Yay! Alright, let's bring this over. Get my sketch stuff out of here. Oh, these floofs, I've forgotten to draw so many lanyards on my floofs because they need their badges. Out of this one. That one has their badge behind them. Just do one here. Oh, I don't need the bottom of the table anymore, because I've got somebody blocking it. Let's do that. Alright, who else doesn't have a lanyard? That one has his lanyard. Let's go over here. I need to give this one a lanyard. Oops. Anybody else missing? Everybody in the line for Hall H has their lanyards. These, I'll say that these guys are, they have them on, you just can't see them. I put a lanyard on that one. That one has it. Those guys have it now. These guys have it now. This one definitely has it, and it's covered with ribbons and friendship bracelets. And then this cosplay has it right there. This one has it there. And you guys can't see the people taking pictures. The cats taking pictures. Save! Oh, feels good to have that done. I'll get this colored up. I did actually get this colored. That was a daily I did 2 nights ago. But my dailies tonight will be one of the originals that I've sketched out. Where's Hungry Floof? Hangry Floof right there. I don't think I put his, yeah, he didn't have a lanyard in this when I added it. Or I took it out, actually. So I already have him colored up, and I believe I grouped him. So if I'm lucky, yes, everybody's grouped. So I can just take that, and I won't have to put in all that detail again. But yeah, this will be tomorrow's comic, and then I'll be taking next week off, but I will have on Instagram and X, I'll have scheduled reposts, and I'll also be posting video and stories and reels and TikToks from the road trip out there. Adventure Floof will be attending as well. I have his, oh, let me go grab Adventure Floof actually. Let me go grab him. Alright, here's Adventure Floof. He's got his big leaf. And he used to have a small leaf, but we found him a bigger leaf last year, so he, I put his old leaf right there. I don't have a pin. I could probably do a pin, because that would be cute. Just pin it right there so you got his old leaf. But yeah, he's been to the Hoover Dam. He's been all along I-10. He's been to that place that is very weird, but it's like it's right by where 10 and 8 split off. But there's like a chapel in the middle of the desert, and then they have this pyramid, and I think they've got a spiral staircase from the Eiffel Tower, and it's like the center of the world or something. We stopped there, and it was largely closed. Oh yeah, and there's the granite history of the human race. These big granite slabs that have chiseled into it historical events and stuff. And they also have one that, you know, catalogs all the animals. It's really interesting, but it was closed when we were there, but they still allow you to walk around. So Floof got to walk around there, and it was like 108 degrees, so we didn't stay very long. But he's been there. He's been, of course, to all around San Diego. And where else has Floof been? Adventure Floof, where else have you been? But mostly that. Those are the big stops along the way. But yeah, he'll be going. And then he goes around the booths too. So you want to follow Adventure Floof's adventures, you can tune in there. It'll be on stories and probably TikToks. I'll do like more composed videos for TikTok, and kind of as like a recap maybe of all the stories. Or for some odd reason, my Instagram will not switch to the forward-facing camera. It only wants to, you know, record me. So I'm like, okay, I have to now go and do all my video on my regular camera. I used to just do it in stories and then just post, but I'll just, you know, kind of I'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I'm not, of course, gonna be doing streams next week. It will be Thursday 2 weeks from now. So next week, no, but the week after that, the Thursday, I will be back from San Diego. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining. Let me go BRB screen. No, ending screen. There we go. Thank you so much, Catherine. Hoping and praying it will be a good show. I'm working on making it the best show I can possibly do. I've got all of my product. I've got, just the last little bits of pinning and packaging to do. I've got some originals to do. My comic is done, so that's great. And yeah, so hopefully it'll be good. I'm certainly gearing up for it to be good. New spot on the floor, which will be exciting. But yeah, thank you again so much for joining me. All my new chatters today. So exciting to see you guys. Thank you again, Wander, for sharing the stream in the Discord. Then, let's see, Dee, Sharon, Catherine. Let's see who else was in here. DW. I'm going up my list. All my lurkers. Wander. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great one, guys. Take care. I'll see you next time.